So I want to do something a bit different in this video. I just want to showcase like a subtle change I've done to my YouTube channel. So obviously I've been creating a lot of playlists. I've been doing a lot of additions to the channel as a whole. But I've just done a new banner at the top of my profile, and I just thought I want to document it really because when you make a change, is it a better change? You know, and it's all about evolution. I'm always working on things or looking at ways to improve. I like it. It's a little bit busy. It might be something I refine later, but I was trial and error. There were so many concepts with this that I've sort of like gone through, and I might just show the process actually to what got me to the final result because I think maybe that'd be helpful to other people. I think actually that would be useful. So let me just get rid of a lot of browsers at the moment. Yeah, I'm going to stop that one. I think. Yeah, we'll get rid of that one. So anyway, I'm going to show what it was, and I'm going to show what the process of elimination where you see the growth really of how I come to decide to do this. So I'm going to do a full capture now. Display capture. Right. So I'm going to zoom in. So this is obviously what it looks like if you was to go here. We're going to zoom in a little bit so we can see the image at the top of the profile. So of course it doesn't obviously look that zoomed in normally up to about here. So you have to be very careful with this because on a desktop computer, for instance, you'll see all this. On a mobile phone, for instance, when you open a YouTube app, it'll be to the edge of here and here. So you've got to be delicate because you want to make it look natural for whatever user's using it. It's a real hassle because they make you submit a full page, not just the banner. I don't know why they do that, but it's so trial and error, believe me. So anyway, so I've been using this for the best part of a couple of years now, I think, really, at least a year, I think, or so. I was never truly happy with it. It was more like just a place marker, really. It's quite busy, my new one, so I'm not sure. I mean, it's something I might fine tune later. But anyway, I just want to show the process, and maybe it might help other people come up with their own concepts. So then I just decided I'm going to do this one, and what it is. My images don't always have a natural conclusion. Like it doesn't always have the full arm. It depends where the photo was taken, how I've cropped the photo from a different from an image. Sort of my head one, it doesn't have the shoulders. The head stops there because someone was with me there. It wasn't just me in the photo so I've had to crop my own face off. So I was trying to come up with the concept. So I thought I'd explain really. It's probably better if I do. I was trying to find a way to make it stop without it looking silly. So I was trying borders, but borders were just looking out of place. The problem really I had another problem in the fact that the two images of my books had different, the color just looks different on the table. It's the same table, but for some reason the color just come out different, and maybe it's obviously the lighting. So it really made it difficult to put a background next to it. And I was trying to think, how am I going to do this? Because I want to put my face there a little bit because give it a bit of identity. So I was playing with the borders, and I was trying to come up with a neutral color, but it was a nightmare. Then we've gone with because I started looking at the background of YouTube, for instance. And I thought, okay, so orange doesn't fit the rest of my channel. There's no real orange in like that sort of color, browny, rusty color. So I thought we'd go grey, but I went too light with that grey. Again, I changed the border from this brown one to this grey one, but again, it still doesn't look natural. So I've gone darker, and I thought white bars will look nice. Oh, white bars don't look nice. White bars don't look nice at all, and it still needs a darker grey. So we've gone for darker grey, got rid of the bars, and then I've put like images either side of myself. And that's where I was naturally going then. I was like, okay, I like this. Now, this image here is a bit wild, but I think it gives a different side to my personality, really. And I think that's really important, a quirky side. That's actually from my gaming side. I've got a gaming channel as well, and that's one of the images I use. But I thought, you know what? I haven't got that many to play with at the moment. So we've gone from this concept, then we've gone for this concept. And we get in there now. So what I was trying to do, instead of having a bland background either side, because it just doesn't look natural, I'll use the same image twice. So we'll do like a carousel sort of thing, like that image, then that image, then that image, then that image as a background. But I thought, it still doesn't match. It doesn't work. And initially, if you see here, I noticed the face was too small compared to this one. And it seemed weird that face was to the left, that one was there. Like, if you're going to put that one in the middle, then that one should be in the middle. Because these two should be the outside. It's just mirroring, isn't it? Symmetry and whatnot. So yeah, so I've made that image bigger, and I've turned the direction of this one left, because then it mirrors, it's symmetrical, you know. I did do a little bit of editing on my arm somewhere. I can't remember. It makes it look like I'm armless, but I thought it makes it even more funny. It's my little humour, really. So yeah, we're getting there. And then we got the final concept. Like I said, it's a bit busy, but in all honesty, I think it's good to promote my books, because before we get to that final one, if you look at this, it wasn't heavily promoting the books. You could see a little bit of the image. Um, it was never doing me justice, you know. So now we've come. Now this is my final one. When I say final, it's final until I come up with another concept in the future. But it's not something I enjoy doing. It's something I do for a reason and then get on. Hence why my images for my videos, they're very basic in form, because I don't want to keep editing them all the time. All I do is change the text. And I know ideally you would do a very original cover design where you do pull in faces and things. That's how people go viral on these platforms. I don't want to do that crap. Yes, anyway. So that was the one we was going with. I think it looked good, but just needed fine tune. So then we come up with this one, and that's my final one for now. And I'm actually quite happy with it. It's a bit busy, and I recognise that. I don't think it looks too busy from a distance, to be totally honest. Maybe a little bit, but on your phone it looks actually fine. So if you go on a smaller screen. So what I thought about, and I just thought about, okay, we can't, if we keep doing repeating the image, it looks stupid. So why don't I put the covers to my books separately as well, behind, like either side of the photo of all of them together. So of course I had to leave one out. There's not enough room for 6 books, so I've had to leave Heal Your Mind to Free Your Soul out. But I think you can see it prominently there. So I thought put my Father's Daughter series to the left, and then we'll put my other books to the right hand side. And I think that just gives it more of a balance to the background rather than repetition. And I think it promotes the books a bit better. So obviously, unfortunately, on this one, it's missing in this image here for some reason. It might be where I've cropped it, because I've got to try and crop the image to make it fit. I'm not sure. Oh yeah. So if I move it over a bit more, you can see it's got my other book there. So I think from that point of view, it's useful. Like I said, if you're on a mobile phone, it will cut off here. I think round about here, part of my face there, and then maybe up to about here. But it actually looks fine. So on a mobile phone, you wouldn't see the 2 images on the edge, and you wouldn't see but you don't need to, you know. At the end of the day, it's promoted straight away. Someone goes on your channel, they can see you've got books, for instance, so they know you're an author anyway. I mean, I've obviously titled it there. Then I've put spiritual life guide. I don't like coach. I get fed up with the term life coach. I don't consider myself a coach. I just want to guide people, just help people, you know. Uh, so I just think I just give guidance. That's what I do. I'm guidance. I don't see it as coaching. Coaching is one-on-one. That's how I see it anyway. So yeah, I didn't really know what to put next to it, to be honest. Yeah, but anyway, I'm happy with that, because now if we compare that to the original, is it zoomed in the same? Not sure. Well, it would do. I think it's the same thing. Yeah. Anyway, so I think that looks better than that. I mean, someone else might not think that. Someone else might think it looks better as it was. I thought it looked a bit bland personally, and I think just give it a little bit of character. Now, I personally think at the moment it perhaps looks a little bit busy, but in all honesty, I just don't know what else to do, because the backgrounds just look, as we've seen here, the backgrounds look boring as hell without anything behind it. And it has to look natural. There's no other way. The colour tones of these are too different. And I just think by placing the books behind it, it just all of a sudden it filled it in, you know. The only other alternative you could do is the backgrounds to the videos. You could do one of them that side. Perhaps that's an option. I could do the background to that as there, and then one of the backgrounds to another prominent playlist that side. But at this point, I haven't even looked at that before, to be totally honest. But I don't think it's useful, because I think it's better for me personally just to promote my work. You know, you go on my channel, you see the playlists, you've got the thumbnails anyway to them, and then you also get to see the fact that there are books as well, and I think that's useful. But of course, things will change when I release my next book. So then, when I release my next book, that image at the middle there, where it's 2 separate images, I'll probably just do a photo on the table with all the books together next time. So there'd be 7 books, and then it'll all be the same tone anyway. I think that'll probably be the answer to that one. But yeah, like I say, I'm always looking to ways to improve, not like huge dramatically, but just fine tune. And hopefully it inspires others if you're creating a channel, just to have a little mess about really. It's evolution, you know, it's trial and error. With YouTube, there's just no way of knowing what it looks like until you publish it. And of course you don't want to leave a mess lying around, so you have to just keep working on it live and just keep chucking the changes together until you feel it fits. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the progress because it was getting a bit scary, to be honest, how poor it was. It was growing. I saw the chat. I saw the evolution, and I recognised what I need to do. Anyway, don't want to ramble. I've already rambled a little bit. Um, like always, I just want to show people really different ways of doing things to improve what they're doing too. You know. So yeah,